You are watching
I'm
Wyrd,
ready,
a
Rich.
weekly live stream featuring survival horror, science fiction, and fantasy authors Alan Gamboa, Scott Baker, Rich Restucci, and Hadley Thorne. They get together to discuss, debate, and dissect the latest new movie releases, personal recommendations, and their week-by-week after viewing responses to a current streaming series. Like, follow, and subscribe to Wyrd Realities on all our social media at linktr. That's linktr.ee/wyrdrealities, and that's weird with the Y. Be sure to check out our webpage and subscribe to our monthly newsletter where we highlight our partners, followers, weird kids, talk latest books releases, and more. That's at www.wyrdrealities.net. That was a mouthful.
Hi, everyone.
Good Thursday, everybody.
Happy Thursday, folks. So, kicking it off, the question for the week.
Yeah.
How many different countries have you been to?
Oh,
Why don't you start, Alan?
I've been to two.
Two.
I don't
Were they a good two?
two. No.
No. Okay, you got to tell us which two they were.
Mexico, and I've been to England.
Oh, England.
Guys,
Hi, Londa.
Hey,
Hi,
Linda.
Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Greg have shown up.
I'm not as
Okay.
world traveled as you guys.
Well, I've only been to two, and mine suck worse than yours. I've been to Mexico and Canada.
Hey, I've been to
Oh.
Canada.
I'm sure the Canadians love to hear that.
Well, no, it's attached. It's not like really traveling outside the country.
Yeah, like Craig said, Canada doesn't really count.
It doesn't.
It's like it's like one of the it's the 51st state.
It's a lot cleaner than America. I mean, we
You're
went
trying
through
to get
Detroit
back
to get
into the
there.
United States. It counts a lot.
Yes, and they honor Nazis up there now.
Yeah, right?
How stupid was that? But
Yeah.
I'm dying to hear Rich's answer. I want more details, but for me, it was 38,
Holy shit. Nice.
including some countries that don't even exist anymore. Because
right?
I drove through East Germany once, and I spent a couple of days in Yugoslavia.
Wow. I'd love to go to Yugoslavia, or what is it now?
Serbia.
It's a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Hey, Clark. Hey, Mike Lewis.
Hey, Clark and Mike. Craig and
Yep.
Lynn.
Hey.
All of mine are Asia, Middle East, and Europe.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, Restucci.
Yep.
Busted out a map when Hadley sent the questions. Someplace I had my passport someplace, my old passport. I should have brought it down here. I've been to 58 countries.
Holy.
Yeah.
How did you go to 58?
Because when I worked with my dad as a younger kid, I made a ton of money and I didn't really spend it on anything except for flight school and travel. Like it was pretty easy. The first place I went was, well, other than Canada and Mexico, was Thailand. I went over there for whatever. And then I came back and that I was about 18 then, 19.
18 in Thailand. I want the stories.
I got the current job I'm in, and for that job, I actually got sent to live in Norway for 18 months, 16 months, 18 months, something like that. And while I was there, I just pissed around Europe, and then I really fell into love and travel, and I went to a bunch of other different places. I had already been to South America by then, too. I went down to South America for a little while. But after I got back from Norway, I went traveling probably once every 2-3 months. I went for a couple of weeks or a month, something like that. It was very lucky. Yeah, very lucky.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool beans, man.
So how many states have you been to?
I have never been to either of the Dakotas. I've never been to Alaska or Hawaii. I've never been to Washington State. I got all the rest.
Okay.
Hawaii,
So I'm adding those to my list.
Hawaii, Washington, California, and I'm not counting states like I just drove through. Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Pennsylvania, quite a bit. Naturally, Virginia, Florida, and Louisiana, all of the New England states.
What are you doing?
I hope you're talking to the pets.
Right?
Boudreaux is making a nest.
Picked up a new mug today for Halloween.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, so the real question is where's your favorite place that you've traveled to?
There's just too many. There's so many places I'd like to go back to. There's just too many to list.
I lived 3 years in Seoul, South Korea. And if I had to go back and live overseas, I think I would go back to Seoul.
So that's great.
Alan?
Well, it doesn't exist anymore right now, so I would say Maui.
Yeah.
Parts of it, most of it exists.
Yeah, well, Lahaina. I like the Lahaina area. A lot of that burnt down.
Ash is here. Say hi, Ash. Oh, and my mother is here. Hi, Ma.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Ma. Cabo San Lucas. Yes, that's a fun place. I've never been to Florida. I've always wanted to go. Never been.
It's like a combination between Vegas and South Louisiana.
Wow.
Florida.
Yeah.
It's a lovely state. There's a lot to do, a lot to see. But if you do not like heat and humidity, do not go to Florida. I walked out of the house once. It was December 24th. I walked out of the house and my glasses fogged up because of the humidity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I live in the armpit of the U.S., so I'm very familiar with the humidity.
I had a friend of mine who was stationed at the CIA station in Orlando, and him and his partner, their sole job was to take liaison officers from other intelligence services to Disneyland and Universal Studios.
It's good work if you can get it, right?
Well, I said to him, that must have been fun. He said, yeah, you sit through the It's a Small World After All ride 4 or 5 times a month.
Yeah. So what you do is you got to hit the drinking stations, although,
All over the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the DOD just bought an old Disney hotel. It was, I guess Disney had a golf course and it wasn't doing well. So DOD bought it. They bought the hotel on it and stuff like that. And now they have conferences and stuff there. And I guess it's doing really well now.
Wow.
They're getting all, government employees and not necessarily just government employees, but, things like that. My boss just went down there actually for a symposium on PFAS, which is one of the perfluoroalkylated substances, one of the analytes several of the analytes that we look for.
Well, you got to have a golf course on an air base, that's for sure. A couple of bases I was at, they had some nice golf courses.
That's nice.
Yeah. So,
Mike,
got to be comfortable.
Dumbledore passed. Who was the actor who played him?
Wasn't there more than one?
Michael Gambon. Yeah, they both died too.
Richard Harris has been dead for years. Yeah.
Did you guys?
And who's the young guy? Jude Law.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Jude Law, very much alive.
Did you hear that yesterday David McCallum passed away at 90?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lived a long time, man.
He did. He did.
Why not?
Wasn't he?
As long as he'd like to, but
Wasn't he 90?
Yeah, he was 90.
I remember watching him as a kid with Ronald Vaughn.
Yeah.
Man from Uncle.
Man from
Yeah.
Uncle.
See, I remember him mostly from The Great Escape.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that till later.
Steve McQueen.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get started. Who's going to set the movies up?
Do you want to go, Rich? You've got notes.
Yeah.
It was his. He picked his movie this week.
Okay, so first of all, I didn't pick the movie. I said, "Hey, this movie is," and then it was all of a sudden, "Oh, Rich picked this movie." That's not true. But that said, I will launch right into this because this movie didn't suck. It was pretty good.
Hey, Alan.
Mr. Lassiter. So I picked Talk to Me, which is a 2022 Australian supernatural horror film starring a bunch of Aussie teenagers you don't know and never heard of, and Miranda Otto. And the premise is that there's this severed hand of a medium covered in ceramic, and if you hold the hand and say the words "talk to me," a spirit appears. If you then say "I let you in," the spirit can inhabit your body. No, what kind of moron would do that? Just no.
Yeah.
Teenagers,
Right?
I was going to say stupid kids. You don't know better.
So the feeling of the spirit inside you is supposed to be like some type of fantastic hallucinogenic drug, and you feel really great for a while, and then there's no side effects at all, except there's side effects. If you don't evict the spirit that you invited into your body by breaking contact with the freaking hand and blow it out a candle to shut the door, within 90 seconds, the spirit stays in you. A bit arbitrary on the time, I know, but, whatever. Mia, a teenage girl who has lost her mother and is a bit on the outs with her friends, tries the hand for a bit too long, and you can envision how the formula plays out. Not so surprisingly, a group of kids use the hand over and over until a younger kid takes the reins. Then all hell breaks loose, and the creep factor and the blood amp up. There's a particularly icky moment with Mia and one of her friends in bed. It's not really a sex thing. I guess you could call it a sex thing. It's just creepy and freaking icky and weird.
Yeah.
And there are also not so nice spirits on the loose, some of which can make you see things that aren't there and do things you normally wouldn't. Also, the ghosts are big fibbers. They tell lots of lies and make you believe things that aren't true. And this is a decent movie, but there are definitely cringeworthy moments, one of which involves an eyeball. So if you can't do eyeballs, stay out of this one. But it honestly wasn't as bad as I was led to believe. I had heard from my daughter the other day how horrible it was. And I watched it kind of like this, eyeball, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad. It takes a minute to get to the action, but once it's there, things roll along pretty quickly. It takes about an hour of the movie for it to really start to roll.
Yeah.
And this is one of those films where it's pretty much impossible for the characters to win. And I generally don't care for that, but this one played out actually okay. It has made $70 million so far, so it's a pretty big win for the producers, and it has a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I enjoyed it. It's definitely not the best movie I've ever seen, but for what we've been doing recently for the past few months for horror movies, this was one of the winners. What did you guys think?
Let me throw in a little bit of background before I.
Please do.
Okay, this is directed by the Philip Powell brothers. Philip Powell brothers, is that how you pronounce it? They're Australians. Go to YouTube and look up their Raka Raka videos. They are insane, and this is what got them this movie deal. These videos they filmed in their house. They smashed through wall. It's like if you take Jackass, throw in Marvel characters, DC characters, video game characters, mash them into their videos. This Raka Raka is insane, and it's insanely entertaining. So if you get a chance, check out Raka Raka, the Filippo brothers on YouTube. They've got their own channel, and this is what got them this. They were offered a MCU movie, and they turned it down to do this one, which I think was probably a better choice because this one made money for these guys.
Yeah, 70 million so far.
Yeah, and I think the budget was like what, 4 million maybe or something.
Small,
yeah, it's small.
I think an MCU movie would have had a bit of a bigger budget.
It would have, but the MCU's been crap lately. Anyway, I'm not gonna go down that.
How do you really feel?
This is good. I was surprised. It was a little bit slow at the beginning, but once it goes off the rails.
Hey, Mona.
Hey, Mona. It keeps you watching, and the ending is sweet. Yeah. The ending is. I love that ending, and I wish I could give it away, but this is a new movie, and I'm sure not many people have seen it, but it's worthwhile. It's got a lot of creep factors. The acting in it's good, and it's got Miranda Otto as the mom from Lord of the Rings.
Sabrina.
Yeah. Ton of movies. Then you don't see her anymore. So it was good to see her in something. But she was in a lot of a lot of fantasy movies, a lot of stuff like that.
Was this Australian or New Zealand?
Australia.
Australian.
It's Australia.
He's from Brisbane, I think.
Yeah.
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
I think they pronounce it Brisbane.
Brisbane. Hey, mate. You know, and you got to watch it with subtitles because they're Australian.
Can't understand. Nope.
Yeah. And everything else,
language.
they're asking.
I don't know. Rich and I have a Boston accent. I think we understood it a lot easier.
Forget about it. It's all good.
Well, what did you two think? I liked it.
Ladies first, do you want me to go?
You go first.
It was good. Like Rich said, the first hour dragged. I lost interest. I was working and I was like, I could care less. I'll just keep it on so I can talk about it. But then there's that one seance scene where things start to go south really quickly. And after that, you don't know what's happening. She gets caught up in this bizarre world with the demons that she can't trust them, but she has to deal with them. There are some bizarre scenes. Yes, there's two that was sort of like, okay, if you're into really weird sexual stuff, you're going to love this movie. And the ending of it, the last like 15, 20 minutes made this movie. The ending of it was phenomenal. I did not see it coming. It was a bit of a plot twist, and it really it was a slap across the face, because at the end of the movie, it was like, damn, this was worth it. So,
Hey, David Simpson.
hey, David.
Simpson.
How you doing?
David's creepily watching us.
Yeah.
Somebody called him out. There's no lurking here.
But yeah,
So-
I'm sorry. It's definitely good. I don't know. I wouldn't say it was gross. I would say it was more creepy than anything else. But
Yeah, it was weird. I guess some people are into that kind of thing. So
yeah,
10,000 men.
Okay, so I didn't hate it, but I did not appreciate the scene with the dog.
Oh, man.
I could have done without that. That was a big why are you doing this? That poor dog.
the dog was into it.
Yeah, the dog.
He didn't know better.
I forgot.
He was violated.
No, wait a minute. It's not what you people think.
It's
But he kind of was.
It's a
No, it wasn't. The dog was enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah.
fun with a dog and a human, and it
Reminded me of
it's not.
reminded me of Walter when he would do that to me. He would just lick away.
Ugh. No,
And you- but you
Scott,
were into
keep
it.
it to yourself.
I didn't lick back.
Did you film it?
No.
You did?
Scott was the stuntman in this movie. by the way.
Yeah.
We need a stump dog. The dog's refusing to do it.
Come on, guys. I'm divorced. I need what I can get.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah, it was not. It was cringeworthy.
It was very cringeworthy. And then at the end of the movie, there was a scene that it just really disturbed me. And it wasn't. It's probably nothing that anybody else would have been disturbed by, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like what happened, and I just had to turn it off for a little bit.
We'll hint at it so we know what it was. Don't
Yeah.
tell us.
Well, I mean, I'd have to tell you. It's towards the end of the movie with the scene with the father.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I did not like that at all. And I think it was because it was so uncomfortable leading up to it, with the suspension of of what reality was and what it wasn't, and all this, and the dad. Anyway, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. It is worth watching. It's if you can get past all the gross stuff, but it's not something I'll watch again. It didn't scare me as much as it disturbed me, and yeah. So
there are some creepy, scary moments.
Yeah.
But it's
Not like the other movie.
No,
Oh, yeah.
but I thought the dynamic between the father and the girl helped make the movie, and especially helped make that last like 30, 40 minutes when she had no clue where she was and what was going on. That scene, I loved that scene.
Well, and we were talking about the ending before we got on, and I wanted to say this, that it also seemed to me that I wanted more out of the ending than I think I got. Like, I wanted it to be more clear. Y'all, I'm going to put y'all on pause for a minute. Carry on. My phone has been going off for a minute, so let me see who that is.
all good. As soon as what happened to the main character happened at the end, I knew where that was going. I was able to. I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to go that way, because it's full circle to you can't win.
Yeah.
And I hate when you can't win. There's got to be an out for you such that you can win.
No, but I thought it was brilliant because she only had one way out. Well, actually, she had two ways out, and you weren't sure what she was going to choose. But that ending was one of the best endings of a movie I've seen in a year. And Mike, Fred was sitting in the cat bed underneath the desk and didn't watch any of it. Thank God, because if he saw that scene with the dog, he probably would have wanted me to do it.
It was. I enjoyed it. I thought the acting was good in it. All the, the relationship with the kids and everything, was pretty good. They weren't all hating on each other until, they got deep into the hand. But it was worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch.
And it's also a pretty good movie considering that these guys, this is one of their first feature films. Mm-hmm. This isn't like these guys have been doing this for years. They did the TV series, but they're one of their first times out of the gate. I thought they hit it pretty well.
Yeah, if you look at their Rocka Rocka series and then you watch this, you're like, these are the same guys. The Rocka Rocka series looks good. It's polished. Especially it's all stunts and jackass stuff, but it's all done well.
Yeah. What streaming service was it on?
I think it's on. Is it on Amazon or was it on Hulu? No, the other one was on Hulu.
The Offering was on Hulu. No, The Offering was on Amazon.
What was? Talk to me on. I mean, I know where I saw it, but I'm trying to think. Was it on Amazon?
I'm looking right now. Amazon, Apple, Google Play, Vudu, and YouTube.
Oh, it was on. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can find it.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. If you're looking for, it's worth a watch. So, what are you back with us, Hadley?
Excuse me. Nope.
No. Do you want to rank it? And
go for it, big man.
Okay, I'll give it a 3.5. I wouldn't watch it again because I know how it ends.
Yeah.
But I'll give it 3.5.
Scott?
Sorry, guys. I'm having.
That's all right. Well, I'm going to give it a 3.2. Like you said, Alan, it was good. I don't need to see it again. But it could be one of those movies where, in 10 years, back and watch it and go, oh, yeah, I remember this movie, that type of thing. Yeah. But it does have some cringeworthy crap in there, which for me took a little bit away from it. And it's real slow to get into. You need a good hour before you're like, holy crap, this is spooky.
Yeah, it does. It does. The party scenes with the kids and stuff is kind of interesting, but.
Sorry, guys. And no, Fred wasn't alerting me to danger, Craig. Michonne is here, and for some reason he doesn't like black cats.
He was telling Scott the peanut butter jar was empty. Anyway,
he made me empty it. So I'm gonna give it a 3. If the first 40, 50 minutes didn't drag, it would have got much higher. The last like 30, 40 minutes of the movie I would rate it about a 4. But because of that, you have to sit through that first hour. It's only going to get a 3.
Yeah. It was a pretty slick production for what it was.
Oh yeah, the acting was great. The cinematography was great and all that.
The first hour is slow, but it's a necessary buildup. They could have done it a little better. I think a little bit. There could have been a little bit more to it. But you get at the very beginning of the movie, you sort of get a bit of an explanation of what's about to happen to the other kids.
Yeah.
So they could have either sped it up or threw some different stuff in there to make it a little bit to flow a little faster.
Yeah, I wonder if some stuff was edited out.
Yeah,
it seemed like there was a little bit of disconnect, but it's worth a watch. Definitely, you looking for something scary this Halloween season? This is a good candidate.
You know what else is a good candidate?
What?
The Offering, which is our other movie. Which one of you guys is going to take that one?
Scott.
No, you.
You seem more interested in it.
Wait, yeah. See, he's pointing to you too. So.
Oh, okay. All right. The Offering is it was made in 2021?
22, I thought.
They just released it. It's a new release, but it was in the can during COVID.
Oh.
So this was filmed during COVID. It follows Arthur and his pregnant wife, Claire, as they return to his family home in New York. And he's Jewish. They're Hasidic Jews. And his dad runs a funeral home in his house. And you know how that always turns out. You never want a funeral home in your house. And the son is kind of estranged from the dad, but the dad wants to repair it. And he's making an effort to repair it. Well, the son he wants to repair the relationship, but he has another agenda on his mind. He's about to lose his home, and he wants his dad to put his funeral home, his house up, which is probably a lot of money in New York for collateral. So he his house. And in the meantime, this body comes in, and I think it's of this rabbi, and he goes to help his dad because he's worked in the family business before. And the dad starts talking to the uncle, which works with the family. They go in the alley to talk, and the son finds a knife and a necklace on this dead man embedded in his chest. Hijinks ensue because this guy pulls this knife, I don't know why, out of this guy's body, and all hell does break loose.
It's a crime, isn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't that evidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he pulling? It's like I would have called. I said, Dad, there's a knife in this dude. And so a demon is set free, and it wants the baby, the pregnant woman's baby, and the dad, the son, and the uncle are fighting to get rid of this demon once they find out that it is a demon. It has a pretty bleak ending. I'll say that. It's interesting because it dives into Hasidic folklore, horror, supernatural things you usually don't see in a horror movie. So I really like that. The acting was really good. The only actor I recognized was the uncle. He's a British actor, I think, Paul Kay. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but or now I didn't recognize any of the other actors, but it was well done, and it was creepy, and it had a great looking demon.
Yes. All right, Tony.
Hey, Tony. So what do you guys think?
Scott, you first.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is one of the. You guys know movies don't creep me out. They don't scare me. This was one of the very few movies that creeped me out. I loved this movie. Yeah, there's jump scares in it, but it's not your typical. You know the jump scare is coming, but the way they build the tension, getting up to that jump scare, it's okay. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? I loved it. I did try to look up how Hasidic funeral rituals played into the movie, but I couldn't find any information on it because I'm sure there's a lot in there that I missed that anybody who is of the Judaism would have appreciated. But it is creepy as hell. The acting is great. You don't like the son.
No.
He's an asshole. Alan said that, the son was there to make the father and the wife think the son is there just to make amends. But the son also wants the father to use his home and funeral home as collateral. And when the others find out about it, naturally, he's the pariah of the community. The first 5 minutes, you'll sit there and go, what happened? I don't understand. If you don't understand what's going on, don't worry. It all comes together beautifully at the end of the movie. This is great. I love this movie. I've recommended it to people. I will definitely watch this one again. The scene when they go after Saul, the scene with Saul in the mortuary is one of the scariest and one of the most unexpected scenes I've seen in a movie in ages.
Yeah.
As Alan said, the creature effects on this are phenomenal. It's not some guy in a old Godzilla suit. And the ending of it was very surprising. It took me, though I did catch one part of it, so I had a feeling it was coming, but you got to see the movie to understand it. Definitely worth watching.
The actor that played Saul, he did a really good job.
Oh God,
you really felt for him. He played the father, and
yes,
you really liked that character. Rich, sorry.
Oh no, sorry. So this is another one of those you can't win movies. Although this at least had an out. There was a way to defeat this demon, and usually with these demonic movies and ghost movies and stuff like that, you don't get to really see what the demon looks like till the last 20 minutes of the movie or so when it's crashing through. This you get to see the demon pretty much right away. You see the demon in the first 15-20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
This big tall thing with with these like deer antlers. It was really cool. It was really done well. But again, don't get me wrong, I like the movie, but it's another one of those movies where no matter what you do, you're going to lose. And I want an out. I want to be able to know that they can fight the thing and win this way, but you can just see that that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's another, like the last film, it's a movie where the creature can trick you and make you think whatever it wants you to think. And you have to be your own sort of devious in order to get out of whatever trickery you're into.
Right.
So putting that aside, this was another pretty scary movie. There were, I wouldn't say a lot of jump scares, but it's got that like ghost demon stuff where, there's a noise over there, you turn, and then there's this shadow, and the shadow moves, and it's not what you think. This one, both movies, the last one and this one, have a creepy kid. There's a little, and they kind of look alike, actually, now that I think of it. There's a creepy girl in the last one, and there's a creepy girl in this one. The creepy girl in the last one, for you guys, you're going, what creepy girl? The one in the hospital room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's right.
And in this one, her name is Sarah, and she was sort of, initially the rabbi was trying to summon a good spirit to help. And he he screwed up, and he summoned this evil, awful, child murdering, eating demon. And it's it's a shapeshifter, and it takes little Sarah's form. And Sarah is generally the human portion of the demon, although it does take other forms. Like I said, the demon is really cool in this. The story is excellent. It comes together really well. There's no, like the last film, you got to wait for it to start. This film, it's immediate, and you're like, holy crap, did that just happen? Then you start watching it, you get into more of it, and it just doesn't let up. It's relentless with the the pseudo terror. It wasn't real terror. It was terror that you could kind of see coming. So, and there are a couple of jump scares, but this is a demon that, usually in these movies, the demons can't really hurt you. They make you hurt yourself. This can kill you. He was very adamant about it. He killed she killed at least 2 people.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. Ended up being a little bit more than 2 people. But I would enjoy and recommend this movie. I don't want to give too much of it away. I guess I did. But, it's a relatively new movie, 2021. Is that what you said, Alan?
Yeah. It was set in the can, I guess, for 2 years, and then they released it.
COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty good. Looks like Hadley's still down.
And just Greg asked about whether it's a Wendigo. It actually is based on a Jewish Kabbalistic demon.
It's funny because I was looking at that, Scott, and I was thinking, remember the rabbi goes, I thought it was this, and it's actually a trickster. Mm-hmm. So when Craig said a Wendigo, I thought those are often, together, Wendigo, trickster, right. And Native American.
And the Native American Wendigo is supposed to look a lot like this thing looked. It's tall, it's thin, nice. It's constantly skinny because it's always starving.
And even though you see it, it still is not, it doesn't take away from it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I actually like the way they spilled the beans that early on the demon itself.
Yeah, we had to look up some of the words they used too. Tina's like, what's that mean? What's that mean?
And just what I loved was the creep factor. And I'm not going to give it away, but when the wife is in the kitchen taking pictures of the food, that was creepy.
Yeah. Well, got put on Facebook.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, catch me up.
We are on to The Offering, and it's your turn.
Yes.
What do you think?
I was pleasantly surprised. I liked, well, first off, let me say, the embalming room, I don't know what you call that.
Yeah.
It made me think of the Diary of Jane Doe or the Jane Doe Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. This show, it had I loved how they would have the lighting and it would kind of blink. And then all of a sudden you'd see it and then it'd be gone. And I love that sort of thing. So I thought this was pretty good. I was happy to get a chance to watch it. I didn't know that I was going to be able to get it in time, but it was only like an hour and a half, so I was able to.
And they put a lot of creepiness into that hour and a half.
Yeah, they did. It was, to me, out of the 2 movies, it was better. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Jewish mysticism in it. It's a culture that I don't know. I know enough about, but I don't know that much. Yes, I'm sorry. I had called someone earlier about something to do with the sheriff, and they were calling me back. So,
I was going to say something. Oh, on this, I guess the director took a lot of flack because he's not Jewish. And it's like, really? I think they were well represented. I mean, from a layman's knowledge.
Sure.
But,
I looked it up. I looked up Hasidic funeral rituals and how they relate to the offering and could find nothing on it. Because I knew there was stuff in the rituals that was driving the story.
Yeah.
But we just missed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hadley is a fugitive.
Yep.
She's a fugitive from movie reviews.
We've never seen her real picture, on this show. For all we know, she's transmitting from a cell somewhere.
South America.
She says Mississippi. What? Yeah. Well, exactly. What if it's in South America?
She's the cocaine queen.
Yeah. Had the Escobar.
Yeah.
So, what did you give it, boss? What's your vote?
I'm going to give this one a solid 4.
Fellas?
3.5.
3.5. What about
I
you?
wouldn't like it.
4.8.
Thought you were done.
4.8. I loved this movie.
Wow.
This movie and The Autopsy of Jane Doe were the only two that ever really creeped me out.
That's saying something.
Yes.
Because you creep me out.
No.
But you love it.
Well, this was creepy when she was the pregnant woman was having like the little old lady rub on her belly. I was like, leave the baby alone.
Yeah.
You know, that was like, and I was just sitting there thinking, God, that must be so horrible to have all these people want to touch your belly. What if every time they touched your baby bump, it took away energy from the baby?
I like it.
Put something in.
Yeah.
I lie about it being a baby bump. Yeah, go ahead, touch it.
Well, now, when she was underneath that table, that was creepy. That was creepy.
Yeah.
It was.
This was a very dark movie.
Yes.
You know, it really was. If you're looking for a sunshine and rainbows, like Rich's, you know, his comparison of this is basically a no hope movie. You know, you can't win. Yeah, this is it. You know.
Well, there's a way to win if you do it right.
But he blew it. Well, they both blew it. She blew it. You know, hey, can you do this? Oh, yes.
The last like 20 minutes of this movie is just non-stop. It goes and it goes and it's great. You know, if this was a book, it would be like 4 or 5 chapters that you would read right through until 3 in the morning.
Well, and the characters in this were very vacant. You know, they weren't like really well developed characters. They just were pieces in this puzzle of horror.
I thought the father was well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did do
The
well.
brief period he was on.
The main character there, his name is Nick Blood, and he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it took me a minute to figure out who that was, and I actually had to look. I couldn't remember his name, so I looked up this movie and then I tracked him back to Agents. I was like, that's where he's from, because I knew I had known him from someplace else. And he's a good actor. I think he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
And she did great. The uncle Hamish did great. Dad was awesome. He was just. He went from being hey I love you to all brokenhearted to where he ended up. So
you felt for it. You know, you really felt for that character.
Yeah.
You know, here's someone that's come around. You know.
Yeah, you felt for all of them, not necessarily good feelings, but you really felt. I think the acting was superior. Well, not superior. The acting was superb. It was great. The cinematography, the special effects, you know, and I'm not even talking just the creature itself. I'm just talking the way, like Hadley said earlier, the way, like, you know, the room would flicker and then you'd see it in the shadows and then the light would flicker and it would be gone. And yeah, it's definitely watch this late at night, but I wouldn't watch it alone. Have somebody beside you that you can skip. Watch the movie and watch it with somebody else so you know when to grab it during the jump scenes.
Keep your Bible, your Torah, your whatever your religious object of preference next to you.
And don't break them or drop them.
No. Your holy water. Oh.
Rich,
well, that was the other thing, too. I got the impression that he thought it was valuable and was going to steal it. And then when he dropped it and broke it, you know, then it was like, ooh, I shouldn't have been doing that. But you guys will know when you see it.
But I didn't think that. I mean, no, I mean, you made me think that now, that maybe he did want to, you know, pocket it. I wasn't even thinking that way until you said that. So, yeah, that could have been.
See, that to me was like part of the driving force. It was his greed that set this whole thing in motion.
Yeah, well, because he screwed everything up.
Oh, he was. I couldn't stand him.
Well, you were supposed to not like the guy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you tell your dad, though? I mean, I know it was written, but I mean, hey, Dad.
Yeah. I wouldn't have let it get that far, and I never would have done that, what he was going to do.
Yeah.
No.
He was trying to steal his dad's house.
No, but he wasn't going to steal it.
Yeah.
But
yes, he was.
None of the others knew that. And I love the fact he kept it from his wife.
Yeah. No. So have we all scored it? I scored it.
I didn't score the last movie.
Oh yeah, we want to hear your take.
I'm just gonna give that one a 3.
Fair enough.
That's what I did.
Is there a reason behind that you?
I really didn't like the dog scene, and I'm just gonna ruin that for people. So I'm just gonna tell them there was an entity that was having its way with this kid, and that all of them are laughing. Well, the dog runs over and starts like licking him in the mouth. And it was just disgusting because he's in the throes of whatever him and this entity are doing.
It wasn't the fact the dog was giving him a face bath. The kid was licking the dog back.
Yeah, it was just everything. I mean, it was just gross. And I could have done without that.
Craig said, "Oh, that's a regular Saturday night for him."
Now I know too much about Craig.
This is actually, it's worth watching. It's worth listening to if you can. It's got some there's definite creep factor here. I would don't pass it by just because of what we said, but there is it's worth it.
Yeah, you cover your eyes on the dog scene. You know,
the dog scene ruined it for me. I mean, I might have enjoyed it more if it wasn't for that, but that was just gross.
See, the dog scene didn't bother me as much as the foot scene.
Same.
Yeah, that foot scene was gross.
That's creepy.
Oh.
Well, it was the same entity that was doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know this. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all my 2 cents worth. I'm sorry, I'm being bitched at by these dogs. The entity got into her and did not get out. And that's what I wanted them to expand upon at the end, and it never did. And that's what I was really wanting to see.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I'm with Landa. It was worse. It ruined the whole show for me.
But that's just because you're an animal lover.
Well, it was just disturbing. You know, it was the whole bestiality element of it was just a turn off. I just didn't like it.
It went too long, too. You know. It
really that's true. It was a solid 20 seconds of.
Well, it was way worse than the eyeball scene to me. Way worse.
Yeah. I'll be back, guys.
You're gonna have to watch it, Craig.
Yeah, Craig.
The movie we're talking about with the foot scene is Talk to Me.
She needs to go to the doctors.
Yes.
Yeah, not The Offering. The Offering doesn't have pets or feet fetishes.
Talk to Me has the dog scene and the foot scene.
The foot fetish scene.
Well, it had a lot of really weird sexual overtones in it.
Which one?
Talk to Me.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. Man, everybody's picking on poor Alan while he's gone.
Well, do y'all want to hear about the sheriff?
Yeah, guys, tell us about the sheriff.
So our sheriff has been found out all the way to New York. It's in the magazines and newspapers everywhere.
Okay.
3 times elected official. He's up for re-election. He won the primary, and it's come out that he was using a lot of all the way up to like the AG to get surveillance on his girlfriend, who was married at the time, because she was seeing somebody else at the high school or one of the schools. So it's like a big deal.
Yeah, that's
wait a minute.
You can't
his girlfriend, who was married, was seeing somebody else?
Yes. And she was his secretary at the sheriff's department. I mean, it's crazy. And so this is in the town where I live. So, you know, these are people who I know from work and also from high school. Like our DA was involved, who's now a senator, and you know, they've all known about this for years, but just weren't telling anybody it was going on. They weren't helping him, but they weren't
Revealed.
investigating him either.
Huh. Wow.
So
Tolerance can be just as bad. So I think everybody's in a little trouble.
Especially the girlfriend.
Actually, she's probably the only one who didn't break any laws. So she might be in trouble with her husband.
she knew and was still with him. I mean, it's really. I'll go check out their Facebook a little bit and see what's going on.
Well, the great thing is when he divorces her now, she ain't getting alimony.
Okay.
Oh, she's divorced now. So.
Okay, babe.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alan's back. So, who didn't watch the Continental?
I did not watch
I
it.
didn't. I didn't get a chance to.
Okay.
Is there only one out, or are all three out?
No,
No,
just the
it's
one,
one
but there's
three.
only going to be 3. But also, Gen V is out. It dropped tonight.
Which Gen V?
It is The Boys. It is from the world of The Boys on Amazon Prime. It is a new series.
What is it?
Gen V. You remember in The Boys, Gen V is what they take to get their superpowers. So this is like these kids in college.
Oh.
All right. Should be interesting. That's on Amazon, you said?
Yep.
Did you, Alan?
No, I was talking to Tina, but
Oh,
if you want me to, I will.
that's
babe.
no. I'm not going to beg.
The Continental's on every Friday for the next 2 weeks.
All right.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll watch both tomorrow night.
Well, I will just say this about the Continental, and I will leave it up to the rest of y'all to come back and tell me what you think. But I felt like it did a very good job explaining why the Ian McShane character cared so much about John Wick.
yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, are we going to do a panel show on that, or are we going to do a?
I don't know. What do you want to do? A panel show? You need to get your panel people together, Alan.
Well, I was thinking.
Everybody's talking to me right now. I'm so sorry.
I was thinking the 4 of us, and then a couple other 3 people, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
I'm down for whatever.
yeah.
Huh? Cool.
I can do whatever we need. We can get anybody who wants to join. Really.
Yeah, I know Sean Kidd wants to do it. So I don't know if any of you guys know Sean Kidd.
Well, we're gonna, right?
Yeah, well, y'all know that October 31st is our start of the 4th year of Wyrd Realities. So lots of cool stuff's coming your way.
I did watch a werewolf movie the other night on Amazon. Harmony Falls. You got David Aslan on your David Rubin on your show, Scott.
Harmony Falls.
Do I need to watch it?
Never heard of it.
Harmony. It's an indie movie. David Rubin made it from his novel.
Oh, is that your friend?
Yeah, that's the one Scott had on the show.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
We were
it's
wanting
out
to
now
watch
on
that
Amazon.
one.
I'm sorry, guys. I am hugely distracted. I'm having a cat versus dog battle, literally.
I think it's that kind of night.
Well, it's full moon tomorrow night.
Oh, well, I'll
The
explain.
last super moon of the year, I think. So, but yeah, I've got to go. My dogs are telling me they need to go outside. So I'm so sorry, guys.
What do we got next week, Hadley? Did you pick?
I have not picked mine yet.
Okay.
But the show is Mr. Harrington's phone, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll have to come up with something to go with that.
And then I'm the week after, right?
Yes.
Right.
So I got to find something to go with Forests of Death.
Ooh.
I know.
So there's a new
Harmony Falls.
Alien movie. Oh yeah, we could do Harmony Falls. But there's a new Alien movie, and it has one line of dialogue in it. It's I watched it last night actually. What the heck is it called?
I've got to go.
Go
I
ahead.
love you
Bye,
guys. I will see y'all later.
Bye bye.
Bye, Hadley.
Bye, Hadley.
Now we
I
can
don't
talk
remember
about
what the name of it was, but I just watched it last night. And this is another one where you see the aliens right away, so it was pretty cool. But it's another you can't win type of thing. But
I think it's not the one where like the poster is the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me.
No one's coming to
No one
save
can
you.
save you. No one can save us, or something like
Yeah.
that. Yes, that's what you're right.
And who's in that?
There's like one person in it, and I was not familiar with her.
Okay.
There's a whole town of people, but you only ever really there's no dialogue. They never speak to each other.
Really?
And it's just you'd think that would suck, and that's what I was going to think going into it, and it was pretty good. One of my friends, Craig DeLuey, he reviewed it, and I read that review and I was like, all right, look, I got to try it. So I did, and it was good. He was right. Pretty much everything he said in his review was accurate.
So the main character has no dialogue.
Nobody has any dialogue.
Must be a married man.
Yeah, no, it's a young woman actually. She has one line of dialogue.
Ash said it's no one can save us. There he gave us the
There you go.
Well, I'll have to check that one out then.
Yeah, it was okay. It was. The ending sucks. The ending's bad. It's not as good as the two movies we watched these for today, but it's worth seeing.
Well, good. I'll have to check it out because I have Hulu. I can do that.
So what do you guys got coming up? Anything?
No releases for me, not for a while.
No, not for me either. I turn 60 next month, so I'm planning on starting to kick some books out. Make a change. Make a writing change.
You're 60, you're still a young kid to me.
You're so much older than I am. Oh my God. How are you not dead yet? Jesus.
No, I've got the Chronicles of Paul 3 on pre-order.
Good.
It comes out the Kindle. It's pre-order Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. It comes out October 13th, and this just happened the other day. New England Horror Writers is having a tent at the Haunted Happenings weekend in Salem, the weekend of October 7th and 8th and 21st and 22nd. We'll be there from 10 to 8 on Saturday, 10 to 6 on Sunday. So I'm going to have my paranormal books there. So if anybody's in the Salem, Mass area, come on by.
Yeah, I wish I was in that area just to stop by and see you.
We do wish you were.
Yeah. Oh, there's Tully, geezer. Yeah, some mornings I feel that way. Oh, look at that. Craig downloaded 3 of your books for your trip. Cool.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far down yet. Thank you.
Man, very cool. Thank you, Craig. Anything else? Anybody got anything to add? Anything? Any suggestions?
No.
Anyone? Nothing?
I check out on Amazon. It's $2.99 to rent. Harmony Falls. It's a werewolf by an indie writer, David Rubin. He financed it himself. Got some people to help produce it. It's got a great werewolf suit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, worth the $2.99. Worth the $2.99.
And what's it again? The
Harmony Falls.
Harmony Falls.
Harmony Falls.
And
he's got
indie.
Indie. It's very indie, but it's impressive for what he put out. I really think it's impressive. If you guys watch it, let me know what you think of it.
Okay. It's amazing what the independent filmmakers can do today.
Yeah.
Well, look at Hilton Ariel Ruiz. He's
Oh yeah.
You know,
I've got some friends of mine down in Florida. They put together Bubba the Redneck Werewolf.
Oh yeah, that was enjoyable.
That was it. I love the scene when they're killing zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
That was so. Yeah. Well, I guess time to kick rock.
Yeah.
It's time to go. So, all right.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yes. Like,
Yeah, folks.
subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks,
Ciao.
Greg. Thanks for joining us, everybody.